Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked into someone's eyes and felt like they were looking through you? Not at you. Through you. Like you were made of glass. Like you were furniture that happened to have feelings. And the worst part, the part that keeps people up at night, is that you love them. Or you thought you did. Maybe you're not even sure anymore what loving them actually felt like, because somewhere along the way, you stopped being a person to them. You became a function. That's where we're starting today. This is a character about narcissism, but not the kind you've heard before. I'm not going to give you a checklist. I'm not going to say, here are 9 warning signs. You can Google that. You've probably already Googled that 3 times at 2 a.m. while your hands were shaking a little. What I'm going to do is take you inside the psychology, inside the architecture of how this person thinks, how they feel, or don't feel. Because if you've ever been close to a narcissist, really close, then you know that understanding them is the only way to stop trying to fix yourself. Section 1. The wound. Here's what most people get wrong about narcissists. They think it's about ego, arrogance, confidence. They think the narcissist loves themselves too much. No, the narcissist doesn't love themselves at all. Underneath that surface, underneath the charm, the grandiosity, the stories about how incredible they are, there is a wound, old, deep, usually carved in childhood by a parent who withheld love, or gave love conditionally, or made the child feel like their worth was always performance-based. You're only good if you're the best. You're only lovable if you're impressive. You only exist if people are watching. So the child learned. They built a self that was designed entirely around external validation, a constructed self, a performance of a person. Psychologists call it a false self, and it's brilliant, honestly. It's a survival mechanism. It kept a hurting child safe. The problem is, they never stopped wearing it. Section 2. The mirror. So now you have an adult walking around with a hollow core, desperately scanning every room they walk into for evidence that they matter. And here's where you come in. When a narcissist meets you, when they're in what's called the idealization phase, you become something intoxicating to them. You're not a person, you're a mirror. And right now, that mirror is reflecting back everything they need. You make them feel special, you laugh at their jokes, you look at them a certain way. You are, in their mind, proof that they are everything they've always needed to be. This is why love bombing feels so real. It is real to them, for that moment. The attention they pour on you is genuine because they're not actually giving it to you. They're giving it to the version of themselves they see reflected in your eyes. You are the most important person in the world to them, right up until you're not. Section 3. The devalue. And then, something shifts. Maybe you disagreed with them. Maybe you had a bad day and didn't perform your function well. Maybe you just existed too much, had needs, had opinions, had a self that wasn't entirely organized around them. And the mirror cracked. When the mirror cracks, the narcissist doesn't think, this person is human and complex. They think, this thing is broken. What follows is called devaluation, and it is genuinely one of the most psychologically disorienting experiences a human being can have. Because suddenly, the person who worshipped you, who called you their soulmate, their person, their once-in-a-lifetime, is cold, distant, critical, sometimes cruel, and your brain cannot reconcile it, because your brain is still chasing the person from phase 1. This is not an accident. Section 4, the hook, trauma bonding. Let's talk about why you can't leave, or couldn't, or why it took so long. This is the part nobody talks about enough. When you alternate between being cherished and being discarded, when love is unpredictable, when warmth is rationed, when you never know which version of them you're going to get, your nervous system does something wild. It gets addicted, not metaphorically, chemically. The intermittent reinforcement, the hot and cold, the push-pull, the moments of magic between the moments of pain, creates a dopamine response in your brain nearly identical to what you'd see in a gambling addiction. You're not weak, you're not stupid, you're not too sensitive. You are a human brain responding exactly the way human brains respond to unpredictable reward systems. The slot machine doesn't pay out every time. That's why you can't walk away. Section 5. The dark part, what they actually feel. Now, here's the disturbing part, the part that's hard to hear. Do they know what they're doing? Some do, some don't. The malignant narcissist, the one high on the spectrum, often knows exactly what they're doing. The manipulation is calculated. The cruelty has intention behind it. They get something from your pain. Control is oxygen to them, and watching you unravel is proof that they matter. That's frightening to say out loud. But the other kind, the covert narcissist, the fragile one, genuinely believes they are the victim. In every story they tell, they are the wronged party. Every relationship that failed was your fault. Every friendship that ended, the other person was crazy, jealous, couldn't handle them. They're not lying exactly. They cannot hold the image of themselves as someone who causes harm. That information would destroy the false self, so their brain filters it out, rewrites it every single time. That's not evil. That's something almost more disturbing. It's a mind protecting itself from itself. Section 6. The aftermath, what they leave behind. People who have been in close relationships with narcissists, intimate partners, parents, siblings, bosses, often describe the aftermath using the same language. They say, "I don't know who I am anymore." They say, "I second-guess everything I think and feel." They say, "I keep waiting for someone to tell me my experience was real." This is called narcissistic abuse syndrome, and it's characterized by something called cognitive dissonance. Your brain holding two truths that can't coexist. They love me, they destroyed me. Both are true. That's what makes it so hard to heal. Because you're not just grieving a person, you're grieving a version of yourself, the one that existed before you learned to make yourself small, before you started monitoring their moods the way you check the weather, before you forgot that your feelings were allowed to take up space. Here's what I want to leave you with. Understanding the psychology of a narcissist is not about excusing them. It is not about feeling sorry for them. It is about you, stepping out of the fog, seeing the pattern clearly, realizing that the thing that felt like love was a system, and that you deserve something that isn't a system. The narcissist is searching for a mirror. You are not a mirror. You are a person. And the day you stop auditioning for their approval, the day you stop trying to be the right kind of reflection, is the day something in you starts to come back. Slowly, quietly, like light through a window you forgot was there. This has been The Mirror That Eats You. If this resonated, if you recognize someone or recognize yourself, sit with it. The recognition is the beginning.